These guys painted in blue color are slaves that have been previously conquered by the Mayans tribe. After some of them were sacrificed by the Mayans in order to ask the favor of their gods, the rest are taken into an arena. There, the conquered slaves will just be used for target practice by the Mayans. The general of the Mayans releases 2 of the slaves and tells them to run away. If they make it past the cornfield, they will be free to live. The Mayans start launching spears, rocks, and arrows toward them. Eventually, both of the slaves are killed. Then, the general releases 2 more slaves. One of them, Jaguar Paw, starts running in zigzag, making it more difficult for the Mayans to hit him. The other slave follows his tactic, but is killed first when an arrow is driven right through his skull. Then, Jaguar Paw is injured as well and he falls to the ground. The chief's son has the responsibility of killing the injured, so he begins with one of the slaves. Then, he moves near Jaguar Paw in order to finish him. However, Jaguar Paw grabs the executioner's knife and drives it right into his throat. That buys him valuable time to escape. The Mayan chief is mad because his son is dying, so he unleashes all of his hunters to go after Jaguar Paw. Jaguar Paw runs inside the forest while the Mayans are after him. He knows how to move in this terrain and leads the Mayan chief right into a trap. But how did they get there? Jaguar Paw has always been a hunter alongside his father, Flint Sky, and his tribe. One day, they stumble on another tribe. Their chief requests to pass through the forest, and Flint Sky allows them to do so. The other tribe's chief tells them that his village is dead and he is looking for a new beginning, a new place where his tribe can start over. Later, Flint Sky calls his son and tells him that the chief they met earlier was afraid. That is a characteristic that Jaguar Paw should avoid. He should live his own life without fear. In the meantime, the rest of the tribe is cracking a laugh at a big guy who is having trouble getting his wife pregnant. His mother-in-law is pressing him hard, but he is still having performance anxiety with all eyes being on him. That same night, the tribe gathers around an old man who starts talking about a prophecy. By using a story, he says that humans are greedy and they are never satisfied. Early at dawn, the Mayans attack. They catch the tribe by surprise and manage to imprison most of the men and women. Jaguar Paw acts quickly, hiding his wife in a pit along with their son. Then, he returns to the tribe and fights with General Middle Eye. However, he is in prison as well. Middle Eye understands that Jaguar Paw has a connection with Flint Sky. To punish the young hunter for resisting, he executes his father. Then, he checks the pit out but can't see anyone. But just in case, he cuts the rope that Jaguar Paw's wife and son used to lower themselves down, which means that they are now trapped in the pit. The men and women of the tribe are taken away, but the children are left behind. Their mothers can do nothing but pray for their safety. Soon, the Mayans take the slaves through a village that has been isolated. Only a little girl is alive, but the Mayans warn to stay away from her because she is sick. The girl tries to approach them, but the Mayans push them back. Suddenly, the girl changes her attitude while she glues her eyes on Jaguar Paw. Then, she addresses the Mayans and asks them if they want to know how they are going to die. The girl starts speaking some mumbo-jumbo and scares the Mayans, who decide to walk away without doing anything. Soon, the tribespeople are taken to a live marketplace. The men are painted in blue color while the women are sold as slaves. When the men of the tribe are prepared, they are taken to the pyramids. There, a priest addresses the crowd and says that their crops are dying. To deal with this situation, they are going to make some sacrifices in order to please the gods. The first tribesman is sacrificed. The priest removes his heart first and then he removes his head. After 2 tribesmen are sacrificed, the Mayans take Jaguar Paw to the altar. Back in the pit, his wife is having a weird feeling about him. At the same time, Jaguar Paw is sensing that this is not his time to die. While the priest raises his knife in the air, a solar eclipse takes place, and the area is covered in dark. The Mayans stop the ceremony, believing that the gods are trying to send them a message. The priest asks the gods to give them their light back and the moon moves away from the sun. The Mayans receive this as a sign that the gods are satisfied, so they stop killing the slaves. However, the slaves are not spared, and they are now taken to the training arena. The chief of the Mayans, Zero Wolf, tells his men to prepare the slaves. He also tells his son, Cut Rock, to go and stand near the cornfield in order to finish the wounded. General Middle Eye releases the 2 first slaves, who try to run away but they are both killed. One of them is hit by a rock and the other by an arrow. Since they are not completely dead, Cut Rock approaches them and finishes them off. Then, he signals the Mayans to send the new slaves over. Middle Eye releases the 2 new slaves and they are both hit as well. But this time, it is Jaguar Paw who kills Cut Rock instead of the other way around. Zero Wolf notices his son walking funny, but then realizes that he is dead. Jaguar Paw gets up and runs away, while Zero Wolf checks upon his son. He goes completely crazy with this incident and runs after Jaguar Paw to kill him. Paw has earned himself some precious time, and he runs through the cornfield, ending up on a dead scenery where many corpses have been disposed. Thankfully for him, he makes it inside the forest. In this environment, he is going to have an advantage against his rivals. He climbs on the trees in order to hide, but his blood is dripping and concentrating on some leaves. While the Mayans run through the forest, a drop of Jaguar Paw's blood falls on Middle Eye's shoulder. Luckily, Middle Eye does not even notice it while he is running through the forest. On the other hand, Jaguar Paw stumbles upon an aggressive puma, so he knows that he has to run. In the meantime, the Mayan chief notices the drop of blood on Middle Eye's shoulder, so he assumes that Jaguar Paw is hiding on the trees. The Mayans start hearing sounds rustling through the forest, but they do not realize that even Jaguar Paw is running for his life. The Mayans believe that Jaguar Paw is stupid, and he is running straight toward them. However, they realize that they made a big mistake when they try to intercept Jaguar Paw. At that moment, the puma hunting after Paw finds a chance to attack one of the Mayans, chewing on his face. Jaguar Paw manages to run away while the Mayans kill the puma. One of them comments that this is a sign for them to leave Jaguar Paw alone. The first sign was given to them on the altar, so this is their second sign. Despite his words, Zero Wolf proclaims that they are going to find Jaguar Paw and kill him. Meanwhile, Jaguar Paw is not wasting any time. He peels a tree trunk and uses the piece of wood to treat his wounds. Unfortunately, the Mayans find him and start shooting arrows at him. Jaguar Paw starts running like crazy until he makes it near a waterfall. The Mayans are cornering him, so he decides to jump in the waterfall. After jumping, he emerges alive out of the water. Symbolically, the blue-colored paint has been washed out of his body, which means that he is not even close to being a slave anymore. He is not a slave to other humans, and he is not a slave to his fear. Jaguar Paw addresses the Mayans by telling them that this is his home. He has been hunting around this place for years alongside his father and his tribe. The Mayans have no way of getting to him without wasting time, so one of the men says they should quit. That statement really infuriates Zero Wolf, who stabs his own man. Then, he orders all of his men to jump into the waterfall like Jaguar Paw did. Of course, nobody dares to refuse. Paw runs in the forest, but he ends up being sucked up in quicksand. He is almost swallowed, but he manages to make it out of there, turning a bad situation into an opportunity. He finds a way to utilize the mud on him. When the Mayans catch up to him, Jaguar Paw grabs a beehive and smashes it on the ground. The bees are unleashed against everyone, but they do not harm Jaguar Paw because he is covered in mud. In the meantime, Paw's wife is trying to find a way to make it out of the pit, but she can't do it. Now, Jaguar Paw finds a new way to take some of his rivals out. He chops some sharp sticks and then infuses them with a frog's venom. When the Mayans walk near that area, he blows those sharp sticks on their bodies and neutralizes them for good. A few moments later, the scenery changes for good as it starts raining heavily. Paw's wife and son are still trapped in the pit, which is concentrating water. If they do not find a way to escape, they will drown. Their hopes get raised temporarily when they see Jaguar Paw coming near them, but Zero Wolf finds him and shoots an arrow at him. Jaguar Paw is injured but not severely. He gets up again and removes the arrow from his body. Then, he stares at Zero Wolf in a way that is inviting him to fight. The Mayan chief grabs his knife, believing that this is the time to kill the man who killed his son. He runs toward Jaguar Paw, but he activates a deadly trap. That kills him. This trap has been used in the past by Jaguar Paw and his father to kill animals in order to find food, but now it serves the young man a win. Back in the pit, the water levels are rising. The mother tries to protect her son, but there is another situation going on. Since she is pregnant, she gives birth to her younger son in the water. In the meantime, Jaguar Paw is trying to escape the two remaining Mayan soldiers. However, he sees something that bothers him at the beach. The Mayans find him, but they are also surprised by what they see. 3 big ships have made it near the shore, bringing the Spanish conquerors along. The Mayans are impressed and decide to approach the humans. On the other hand, Jaguar Paw runs back to the pit to save his wife and son. He has an instinct that he needs to stay away from those humans, so he takes his family to the place where he can protect them, the forest.